Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Recently I was able to go out to dry Tortugas and it was an amazing trip. After looking over all the information that I possibly could find and watching a lot of videos, there were still some things that I was not expecting that I thought I'd take some time to share with you guys. Hopefully these hints and tips are helpful to you. Please let me know in the comments. Whenever you have to get all of your gear checked in at the Yankee Freedom, they ask you to be there at 6. I highly recommend that you get there a little bit earlier to be able to get your car unloaded and things checked through, because it does take quite a long time for each camper to have all of their gear checked. At this point, they're going to tell you to go and check in. This is a great time to leave your car exactly where it is, get your stuff loaded, and check in. You don't have to be back to board until 7 o'clock. At that point, you can move your car, you can get your sunscreen on, you can get breakfast, you can do whatever you want as long as you're back at the Yankee Freedom by 7 o'clock. This gives you plenty of time to be able to organize and think ahead. The guys there are super helpful, and I highly recommend less is more. Unfortunately, there are a lot of rats on the island. I know that they are poisoning them as of right now to try to cut down population sizes, but they provide a hard-sided container for you to keep your garbage in, and I highly recommend that you keep all of your food supplies in bags inside of your large Tupperware containers, and then also inside of your tent. This will prevent them from being able to get into it, and it's less likely that they will basically gnaw into your food supply and get food and water. Water is just as important to them as food is, so make sure that your water is kept away and not left open. When the boat's not there, there are composting sawdust toilets for campers to use. Some things to remember whenever you're using these toilets: sometimes people don't understand how sawdust toilets work, and they don't put sawdust in after or before they've gone to the bathroom. I highly recommend bringing a mask and a mint with you and putting extra sawdust in on top of whatever you do when you do. This will help cut down with the smell and won't make it sickening basically to use. Whenever planning your trip, I highly recommend that you take wind into account. If you have a 20 to 30 mile an hour wind day and you've rented a kayak, you're probably not going to be able to go out on that kayak. Also, wind will ruin the water quality, and snorkeling will be horrible on the windy sides of the island. So stick to calmer sides whenever snorkeling. If you're planning on trying to kayak to Loggerhead Key in 30 mile an hour winds, please consider the possibility that you may end up in Cuba. Remember that wind is just as important whenever choosing a campsite. If you have 15 to 20 mile an hour winds and you can't keep a cook fire going, you will end up eating cold food. So please choose your campsite wisely. Overall, this was one of the greatest trips I've ever taken. I hope that these tips will make your trip easier. Please comment and subscribe if you'd like, and thank you for taking the time to watch it. I hope that you guys get out there and that you can enjoy dry Tortugas as much as I did.